Let's go. The game contains instances of swearing. Oh, come on, fuck! You can't put those in a game! I want to be fucking family friendly here. Okay, I'm sorry, I thought I was funny. Maybe I am, but the important part is what I think, right? I should put a disclaimer on the stream maybe for swearing. Not for the game, but for me. I think it was a year ago. No, 2. Mom told us during lunch. I can't remember the way she said it. Like, the exact words or tone she used. But she got the point across. Gosh, was that. Was it February or March? Whatever, happened at the start of the year. I just turned 18. That's probably why Mom offered me to go. That's the art style of the developer. Interesting. Seems like the developer doesn't make advanced art, but I think that's the good thing about art, right? You can just improvise an art style that doesn't require you to have a lot of experience. Like, you don't need to be an expert artist to do this. And I made something similar. I made a game only with my art by choosing a very simple art style. Which means, if you don't have hard art for your game, you could improvise it. I was old enough. There wasn't really any way I could say no. Missing a day in college wasn't that bad, especially compared to someone dying. Dad had work and my siblings had school. Only the 2 of us went. Can they take like a break from work due to a funeral? On the way, we also picked up a man Mom knew. Sus. Is the man like the mom's boyfriend? Very sus. I didn't recognize him, but to be fair, I never recognized anyone. If I don't see someone literally every day, it's impossible for me to remember them. But I think this time was different. He didn't look like anyone I'd ever seen. Probably a distant uncle or something. We have a damn big family. Yeah, don't you love when suddenly there is a person you don't know and your mother comes and say, "Oh yeah, don't you know him? He was your pseudo colleague of my uncle, and you knew each other when you were 1 year old." No, I don't remember. Who the hell is this guy? I spent most of the time looking out the car window. Wait, since we have everything surrounded in black, we can just make it a little bigger here. Okay, though don't go above my face. Okay, nice. I spent most of the time looking out the car window. He asked me about my grades. Told me that in the South, they need more people that have studied my course. Yeah, at the end though, they will only take people that have 10 years of experience, right? That's how it works. I didn't feel like talking. But it's not like it was the end of the world. I got an email on the way. One of my exams grades came out. It was a good one. Oh, you got 17 out of 24? No, that's the time. Mom and the guy congratulated me for it. Being happy about it felt weird. The car ride was 6 hours. For a funeral? I'm staying home. I don't care who died. It was probably night when we got to Grandma's. We stayed in the basement, like we always do on summer vacation. The house was full of my uncles and aunts. I don't remember if I saw Grandma that day. Wait, we can even do this at Zoom. Yes! Oh, now we are talking. I don't remember if I saw Grandma that day, but she probably was in the house. Where else would she go? Did she die as well? Is she the murderer? Point is, I don't know if I saw her. I don't know if I wanted to. Night came pretty quickly. The funeral would be the next day, early in the morning. We'd sleep here, then leave. Ah, okay. We also have a graphical representation. Wow, I love it. We are here for a funeral, back home. That's literally the same schedule of the wedding of my cousin. Maybe mom would have wanted to stay more, but her job and my classes wouldn't agree. At some point, I was pacing around in the basement, alone. There was a mirror in the middle of the room, next to the closet, so I saw myself in it with every circle I walked. Maybe I shouldn't feel sad for... I had lots of good memories of her. Even if she would have been too old to remember. Maybe I should have been worried about Mom. Grandma and her had both lost someone so important in their lives. But all I could think was two things. The first one was, I don't want to be here. Is it the game getting creepy? I wonder what the game is about to be, because for now we only have the introduction. We don't have any gameplay or anything else, but I like it. It's giving a good vibe. I'm curious though how the game will play out. Also, why can I not hear my voice on TikTok? I think it's fine. Okay. We drove to a building in the morning. That's where the funeral would be held. Well, it wasn't exactly a funeral, because we weren't in the cemetery. Well, you don't... Huh. Well, I never thought about it, but... The part... what does consist in a funeral? You have to be in the cemetery? Or it's also the part where we cry over the grave and stuff? It was an eulogy? Ah, okay, so it has a different name. Eulogy. Speech or piece of writing that highly praises someone? No, that's not it. Eulogy. The commemoration, maybe. Yes. Especially one who died or retired. Okay, so it's, yeah, when you cry above a grave. And you say, oh, it was a great man, we are missing him. And everyone cries. Which, I don't know why I'm using this voice. It's a very touching and important moment. Though, it's unfair. Don't you think it's unfair? Why do we need to cry when everyone dies, but we are not happy when someone, like, when the person is born? When your grandpa dies, like, you cry, and you commemorate the moment, but you cannot commemorate the moment your grandpa got born, right? Because you wasn't there. So you get only to experience the sad leave of the event. We should make a party of a big party every time we know a new person, right? I think that's kind of hard to pull off, though. So maybe never mind. Either way, my aunt drove us down here. We listened to music in the car. What was the building exactly? Oh, yeah, I remember. Crematorium. We had to wait in the reception. Then we went into a big room. It was full of people. I recognized a few, but most of them I didn't know if they were family or family friends. Wait, I realize now. Sorry for the flashbang. I think I forgot. I think I forgot. No. Ah. The stream is not sharing. There's a bug then. Huh. Probably the bug is due to the edit I made. Where in the local files of the user date of the credentials. I saved the date of the last stream. Sure, I'm gonna delete that, so just in case it works now. It should spam the stream now. Okay, it did. I should see what's the issue here, but another time. It struck me how many had come for. Not sure if she'd actually know all of them. They're just here for the money. There was a drinks table on the back. Oh yeah, free drinks! It has paper cups set up in a pyramid. The drink was either coffee or chocolate. I'm gonna drink all the chocolate. I don't care who died. I'm gonna finish the entire chocolate. Probably chocolate because I had some. I can fucking stand coffee. At some point, two old guys were talking to me. One was shorter than the other. I don't really remember what we talked about. Probably about how they knew. And I also recall something about old buildings. They looked very cheery. Hello, Fado, welcome. Oh, thanks for this. We have 6-7 months. 6-7. Amogus. Wait, we need to put a webcam for this. Thanks for the 6-7 months, Amogus. Wow, what a 6-7 jumpscare we got. Wow. Hello, Fado, we are playing... I forgot the name. Wait, the name is something... Went to my first funeral. For now, we don't know what the game is about. For now, it's only a 18-year-old going to the funeral of someone his mother knew. We don't know anything about what the game is about. We just know stuff are... we have a narration. Maybe there's not even gameplay. For now, we only have narration and story. I believe it's just a story. But for now, it's narrated well. I like it. Everyone in the room seemed happy. Or not sad, at least. After we finished talking, Mom called me over to help with something. My cousin had made a photo album with pictures of the dead person. I glued couple photos on it. Some were where she was younger, but most of them were of her taking care of us. I recognize myself in a few. Those were the ones I helped put. After I finished, I left the room for a bit. I started thinking. Just thinking. Eventually, a priest called us into another room. It was a chapel. Chapel? Maybe. We all sat on the benches in the right. Are those persons? Okay, yeah, I love how they stylized the pictures. To be fair, it also looks nice. It has a good perspective in it. Though the persons are very weird. Just the head, no hands. And the priest was up in his platform. I wonder if this was his only funeral of the day. Ah, and coffin was behind him. I'm pretty sure it was closed. If it was open, I couldn't see the inside. It's better if it's closed, maybe. The priest started giving a speech. I don't remember a word of it. Maybe it was a default funeral speech, or maybe he said some specific details about life. A default. Okay, now we are seeing RPG Maker games with default asset. Imagine a funeral with defaulted. Oh no, can't you imagine? When you memorize a default description of a funeral, and you go to a funeral and you hear those words exactly by the letter. It's the same cringe you feel when you see the I don't know, when they reuse the asset from other games. I don't know. Maybe it's a different one. Still. I couldn't tell you. At some point, he said that my uncle had volunteered to say some words about... He went up the stairs, pulled up the paper, and started giving a... Ah, okay, so that's an analogy. Oh, well, it was a lengthy and honestly really good. I got to give it to him. He really outdid himself. At least it was not written with ChatGPT. You know, a fun fact. In my last mother's birthday, she invited a lot of friends, and she got a letter, right? A letter of, you know, the letters you receive at the birthday, like, oh, you're 1 year older, you get better, you're incredible, oh, you're nice doing that and that. No, the problem is, the letter was written with ChatGPT, with a lot of emojis. It was dead obvious it was written with ChatGPT. Me and my brother were like, damn, this is cringe. This is cringe. I hope they didn't expect us to believe it was written by a normal person. Come on! Those are the birthday congratulations to a person. You can't write that with ChatGPT. What is this? Do you care about my mother? Then write a proper letter. Come on. If you do this on my birthday, I'm gonna... Unless it's made for the purpose of... as a joke, I don't know. I would be kind of upset that you did not put your heart in writing the letter for my birthday. Don't let it write with ChatGPT, and even worse, with emojis. Come on, you know that ChatGPT and emojis are the combination of true cringe. Imagine not putting even effort into writing birthday cards. It's not even that hard. You just write, congratulations, I know you will get every year even better, and everyone puts their signature in there. You don't even need to write an entire page about it. You just write a bunch of words encouraging why we like the person and stuff. ChatGPT doesn't know what you do. They told ChatGPT what to write about my mother, but again, it was how you would expect from ChatGPT saying what my mother does. Exaggerated and wrong, as always. Disrespect 100. Again, I would only accept it if it was for a prank. Like, you give me the birthday card, I see it's ChatGPT, and I'm like, are you shitting me? And everyone laughs. Haha, we didn't fool you. That would be funny, but because they knew it was funny because it's not something you do usually. I don't know. Please. Write everything by hand if it has a meaning. I remember vaguely, I read about a story on Reddit, so could be true, could be not, where the husband wrote the letter during the wedding. Like, the husband had a speech during the wedding, and he wrote the speech with ChatGPT. Of course, it's a story without source. Still, pretty funny. Of course, they did not marry at the end. It actually got me a little misty-eyed. I didn't cry, but to be fair, I never do. And I was also kind of distracted. Because of all the adults who were in front of me. And I was trying my hardest not to look at them. Mom, my aunts, my uncles, and grandma. Though I couldn't tell where she was seated. Ah, wait, we mentioned before that grandma wasn't present in the area before, in the moment before. I was suspecting grandma was up to something no good, but we know that she was here. I couldn't see them crying. I knew somewhere I could hear them, but I couldn't bring myself to look. I'm not really sure why. Maybe I still saw them as caregivers who can display weakness. Maybe I just don't like seeing people cry. Whatever, I wanted to stop hearing it. I wanted to run away. But I stayed. Obviously. After the funeral, we all went outside. I think we stayed around for like half an hour. I suddenly remembered. I'd wanted to ask Grandma about a recipe for a while now. I was trying to get into cooking. I still don't get where this game is trying to go. Like, is it just a story? Does it have a dark twist? Is it normal? But this probably wasn't the time. I asked Mama if she thought it was a good idea. She said that Grandma would love to help me if I asked her to. So I did. And she was right. Grandma seemed happy that I'd asked her for help. She even suggested doing it today. It sorta struck me how nonchalant she looked. Guys, I called it! I called it! She's the killer! She acted like I talked to her on a normal day. Like we hadn't got out of her mother's funeral. Ah, so it was the great-grandma. Okay. I didn't say any of that, obviously. I just thanked her. For the inheritance! She's the murderer! I knew it! The rest of the day went on without a hitch after that. Grandma taught me how to make a chickpea soup. I studied for a bit on my laptop. We had dinner. Maybe it was a takeout. It all felt way too normal. Like the start of the day hadn't happened. The day had been split in two completely different halves. Day 2A, day 2B. One funeral day and one normal day. Maybe everyone else felt the same. Maybe only I did. Day 3? There weren't any other noteworthy things that happened from then on. We slept, Mom and I left early, and we rode a train home in a couple of hours. Ah wait, so it is the third day. House was empty because of school and work, and life continued normally after that. I've only ever thought about this whole event a couple of times since then. Truth to be told, there wasn't much to talk about. It was just a thing that happened. Which is weird because, well, it's a funeral. Wait, what do you mean nothing happened? Like, it's a funeral. What do you expect to happen? Like the dead rising? Huh? Of course nothing happened. It's a funeral. People go there, talk about the dead person, they cry. There's usually no drama, unless they read the inheritance, but I suppose they didn't. Surely there's more stuff to think about, like my feelings or my memories of... And that stuff is probably there, if I look for it hard enough. Feels like I was given a piece of meat. Raw. This is raw! I don't know how... Wait. I don't know how Gordon Ramsay says it. I may want to learn how to say it because it's vital to being a YouTuber streamer.
Not even semi-warm. Stone. You cook these. Just touch them.
I don't think we can hear how it's pronounced raw from Ramsay. Oh, we have still sold here. Welcome to the stream. How it's going? Oh yes, we start with an explosion. We were trying to see how Gordon Ramsay said raw, but I need to look into it. Maybe not the right time for during the streaming to look for it. Hello, how it's going? What were you drawing this time? I guess it's drawing, right? It has to be drawing. We are trying a random game, which I still don't know what it is about. It just narrated an event of a funeral. And I believe we are about to get to the moral of the story, but I'm still confused. Feels like I was given a piece of meat. Raw. Just a chunk of beef on my hand. Or a chicken breast with the gross white parts. And I took the chicken breast, added some oil, and put it on a frying pan. This is an analogy. How is cooking a chicken breast an analogy? An analogy of what? Oh, okay, the analogy of remembering the funeral, but how? And I let it simmer on the lowest heat option. Sometimes I'd look at it and see how it's doing. And it'd still be barely cooked, so I'd leave it and come back months later. I could turn up the heat to make it cook faster. But then I could get burned. So I just check it every couple of months. Maybe I turn it around so I can see how a side is cooking, and so doesn't stick to the pan. Weird analogy. Remembering a funeral but not feeling much about it means it's there, we try to think about it, we see from other point of views, but it's nothing. I don't know what it's trying to convey here. That's a peculiar metaphor. I drew a soup. A soup? A colosseum? Wait. You drew a soup and a colosseum. The colosseum and a soup. That's pretty vastly different in the two, I gotta say. Oh yeah, nothing much. I drew a soup and a colosseum. Oh wow. I love how the colosseum is also second in the list. Oh yeah, I drew a soup and a colosseum. And some maps in RPG Maker. And some simple waterfall. Oh, you made a lot today. Well, the colosseum alone seems pretty huge. They're both bowl-shaped. I never realized how you can just have a colosseum and the soup look pretty similar. I never realized how similar they are. Well, to be fair, the colosseum is a soup of a sort, right? They had ship battles inside, so in a way the colosseum is a sort of soup, right? It also has meat because people die in the ship battles. So we have water, we have meat, we just need heat to have an effective soup. Interesting. They were able to fill the whole Colosseum in a few hours. A random video popped up on my Twitter at random. I saw there were like underground pipes of sort, though I didn't really pay attention much about the video. It was just cool seeing the Colosseum fill. I wonder if they can do it again now. Doesn't look like a good idea though. By now, I could have had a perfect chicken breast and serve it to myself with a hint of pepper and a glass of Chateau Monton Rothschild. But it's still not done. So I'm stuck with the gross white parts. Ones I should have gotten rid of to begin with. Because the thing is, what I remember most about the funeral isn't the whole meat debacle. What I remember most isn't the eulogy, or mom, grandpa, or the person who died, or my cousin photo album, or the exams grade, or the guy on the car I didn't know, or how much I didn't want to go to the funeral. The thing I remember most in the moment when I left the big room at the crematorium. Because I was only thinking about one thing. How am I gonna tell this? I was sure this entire thing would be a really great story. Death, emotions, the good stuff. I knew I'd want to tell it later down the line. So, in what way should I do it? Maybe with a comedy special? Or with a book? Or with a game? I'm quite ambitious, as you can see. And you could say I wanted to tell the story because it would help me process the funeral better. But no, I just thought it would be a good story. I could tell you that wasn't the reason. I've told that to myself a lot. The pan kept cooking at the lowest setting. And if I forgot about it and burned, maybe then I would think about doing better. At that moment, that's who I was. Thinking only about myself. Wanting to run away. Processing things slowly. Badly. Alone. Huh? Okay. I can partially relate to it because the story is treating an interesting concept, which is having a very a very touching moment, a very sad moment, but you don't feel anything about this one, and so you try to process how, why, and you think maybe it will come. I felt in a similar way when my mother and my father separated, because I feel like I would feel without the father, with seeing my father much less often, I would feel sad. But to be fair, I don't feel much, because, well, I see him once a week anyway. But apart from that, I felt like he was slowly detaching from the family even before. So maybe that's why I got a gradual leave of my father, even if he went away from home all of a sudden. So it's kind of a paradox. But same way, I don't feel any negative emotion. Just that, no, it's different. Should I feel guilty about it? Maybe it's something repressed? We don't know. I don't think so. I explained my hypothesis that I slowly got used to it. But, yeah, not every person is emotional. Personally, I say that myself, I'm not very emotional. I can get excited on stuff, but on the sad part, on the sad stuff, I don't feel it that much. I don't know what it is. Is it because of feelings, or is it more attachment towards persons? I don't know. Only time will see. I will update you. Hopefully never, though. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Even if it's inevitable. It's inevitable that the grandparents die sooner or later, right? We just hope it's later. How's the Colosseum had a movable roof? Oh wait, a roof. I don't remember about it. Is it still for the ship battles, maybe? I don't know, honestly. To be fair, I never looked into it. I'm not sure why I wanted to do this now. It just kind of happened. At some point, you feel that creative spark in you that makes you want to tell a story. But you can't come up with one also. So you try turning to reality for inspiration. Problem is, most true stories are fucking awful. They are random and make no sense. So the spark dims, and by the time you come up with something, you don't want to think about it. But that spark is what keeps you going. In the middle of a storm, you get a hold on to whatever you can. Okay. I'm sure now. It happened 2 years ago, not one. It was before I met them. Romantic twist at the end. Okay, though I don't know that saying before I met them at the end. That's kinda random, I gotta say. Could be right, but could be what happened, but I don't know. Though I liked how you narrated a casually totally normal event. We have options for this game? Okay. Usual stuff. Okay, that was a peculiar game, I gotta say. Huh?